The last thing I wanted to just touch on very briefly was more of almost a public service announcement, and that is whole disk encryption. And I'm going to toss it over to Brett, and if you'll kind of give us your 2 cents on what it is, why you'd want to do it, and how you implement it. So, Brett, give us your 2 cents on what's whole disk encryption and how do you do it?
Whole disk encryption is a way to encrypt the entire hard drive from bit 1 to the last bit on that hard drive. That's including the operating system, that's including all of your data, all of your applications. Anything that resides on that hard drive gets encrypted. The reason why you would want to do that is if your laptop or desktop, in some cases, gets stolen, and somebody steals it with the intention of getting data off of it, they can't. That's just the bottom line. You can't, because you would take the hard drive out and put it into a different machine or put it into an external hard drive reader, and you won't be able to read it.
Unless, of course, you have the encryption key.
Well, that's not always the case anymore, because a lot of times, a lot of times now, the whole disk encryption is based on hardware information. So if you take the hard drive out and put it into a different machine, exact same laptop, you put it into a different laptop, and it's still not going to read it. So it's very, very specific, and I'm speaking of particular models of laptop, not across the board. More generically speaking, in using Microsoft as an example, it comes starting with Windows version 8. It comes with BitLocker, and that's a whole disk encryption system that it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just there. All you have to do is turn it on and go through some very simple, straightforward steps. Apple, the OS X platform, same thing. It's called File Vault, but you can set it up in such a way that it will encrypt your entire hard drive. And man, I recommend that for any mobile device.
Will the user notice a performance hit?
Typically, no. Unless you're just a real power user and you really push your equipment to the limit, you might detect a very slight degradation in performance, but I mean, it's minuscule. There really isn't a whole lot of performance hit at all.
And of course, the $1 million question, in your forensics practice, what percentage would you estimate do you see where you get a device and it's encrypted?
Almost none, which makes my life a lot easier. Unfortunately, people haven't snapped to the fact that it's there, but it would make my life a lot more difficult. Well, I don't know. Maybe it would simplify things, because if it's encrypted, I can't do a forensic exam on it. Unless I have the decryption code, I'm pretty much done at that point. But seriously, I think I've only encountered one in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Now, mobile devices are a little different. Mobile devices, people have the tendency to encrypt their mobile devices, and a lot of mobile devices are coming out of the box encrypted now. Of course, BlackBerry's been encrypted from day one, and they use hardware encryption, so you can't even export the data and try and bring it up in a different BlackBerry. It just doesn't work.
Well, thanks for those comments, and that'll do it for this edition of the McCann Cyber Podcast, episode 1. We look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Brett, thanks for joining us. Dan, thanks for joining us, and we'll see everybody next time.
Thanks for having us, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.